Mohammed, IFL TV, MTK Global. I'm at the BELLEW Haye 2 presser, joined by Matthew Macklin. Matt, I just want to get your initial reaction to what actually happened there. Was that a push from Tony on David?
I didn't see. Because I was sat back. I was here. I just seen the commotion and tried to get up and have a look, but it all been settled down by then.
Yeah, and we saw someone gate crashing the party. Jay from the In-Betweeners. What was that all about?
Oh no, it's all good fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Just give us a breakdown, Matt, of what happened Saturday night in this main event. How did it go?
Do you know what? When they first fought, I didn't give Tony Bellew. I don't think I gave him 5% chance. I just thought it was a completely foregone conclusion that David Haye was going to win the fight. But do you know what? Even before his injury in the fight, I thought he looked a shell of himself. You know, he was way out of distance. His timing was terrible. He was loading up. I think he can approach this fight with a better mental approach than he did the last one. I think he was very dismissive of Tony Bellew the last time. I think he just thought, this guy's not on my level, I'm just going to bang him out of there. So I think his mental approach is probably better. I think that's why he doesn't want to try and get involved in the slagging and that, because he probably feels he got too into that last time. He just wants to focus on the fight. So I do feel that his mental approach will be better. But I just think he's shot. He's shot. I think he's physically, he can't, he's injured, you know what I mean? His timing is, even before the injury, his timing was way out. He was lunging, he was punching before his feet was in distance. And the only way you're going to get that timing and distance back, or get some of it back, is by doing a lot of sparring, you know. And I highly doubt he's done any sparring at all. And if he has, it's probably a bit of touch tech sparring. It won't be, you know, it won't be proper intense sparring, real sparring. So, you know, how are you ever going to get that distance, that timing back? I don't believe he will, or you can. And, you know, even just seeing him shadowboxing at the and hitting the pads a little bit at the media workout. And I know it's a media workout, it's just for a bit of show and that. But even the way he was just moving around the ring, he looked like his legs had gone. Very, very heavy-footed, you know. And I think Tony Bellew will be cute enough to know that just keep making him turn, just keep making little adjustments, little half steps, just keep making David Haye use his legs, because his legs are gone, I think, you know. And so because of that, it's more because of how it's not the David Haye. Last time we seen David Haye perform well was 6 years ago against Derek Chisora. You know, that's 6 years ago. It's a long time. A lot's happened since then. So I don't know. I just think that Tony Bellew is enough to win.
In the first fight, if David didn't pick up that injury, who do you think would have come out on top? Would Tony still have won?
I don't know. You know, I know David had probably won rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe, but you know, I think Tony was going to, you know, needed to get through the first half of the fight and was going to come on in the second half anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think his plan was. But even at that, you know, we say David Haye's mental approach is different to this fight. He's not as dismissive of Tony Bellew. He's probably more focused on the fight than he was last time. But I think that I think Tony Bellew's belief has gone up an awful lot. Last time, I think, you know, it was an opportunity. It was a big fight. Couldn't turn it down. Probably thought, you know, I can get in there. David Haye hasn't really fought in a while. But then, you know, this would have been him talking himself up in his own head, say. Where now I think, no, do you know what? I can beat him. He's finished. He's shot. He's not the David Haye of 6 years ago. He's a shell of himself. Yeah. You know, I'm active. I'm as good as I've ever been. But I think he wins the fight this time, probably. But I can argue it both ways. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to Mike Costello, who just walked past, and we said every argument you make for if I'm arguing it for Bellew, you can counter me, and vice versa. You know, it's because there's a lot of unknown variables, and the reality is we just don't know what David Haye's got left. Last time he did get injured, so we don't know, was he gonna warm back into the fight. I think it's the 5th round he had actually got his jab going a bit more, you know, which I think, you know, if he is to win the fight, it's important that he gets his jab going. David Haye's got to, if he comes out and he starts looking for the big shots straight away, it's not going to happen for him, I don't think. But if he comes out and goes about the job properly, gets his jab going, you know, then maybe. But I don't know. I just think that it's 6 years since we last seen him perform well against Derek Chisora, and you know, time waits for no one.
If it was 6 years ago, how do you think that fight goes?
Oh, 6 years ago, David Haye.
But sort of 2 or 3 round job?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about another heavyweight fight on the bill. Joyce, 4th pro fight, Commonwealth title shot. His friend Derek Chisora's here. I've just seen him as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that fight could ever? Assuming Joe wins on Saturday, do you think that fight is dead in the water? David Haye said that he's not really interested anymore. Derek's not responding to the offers. Is that a fight you'd like to see?
Chisora.
Yeah, and Joyce. Assuming Joyce comes out on top Saturday.
Yeah, listen, Derek Chisora is a good fighter. You know, you give anyone no one's ever going to fight Derek Chisora and have an easy night. He's a tough guy, you know, and even now, you know, I'd imagine he's well past his best. He's still rugged and tough, and give especially a prospect with limited professional experience like Joyce, he's going to give you a tough night.
Let's talk about the middleweight division. Lot going on, obviously. Canelo 6-month ban. Golovkin still boxing on May the 5th. Danny Jacobs has just fought. How do you sort of see that middleweight division panning out over the next couple of years? Do you think Golovkin and Canelo still reign supreme, or will the likes of Jacobs, Charlo, Billy Joe want to start taking over?
Yeah, I think the landscape in 2 years will be very different to what it is now. You know, I think Canelo, I don't know about Canelo, but I think Golovkin's on his last legs. I think there's only a couple of, there's a couple of big fights left in him. He's 36 now. He's had a very busy sort of 5 years or so. He's secured his legacy, secured himself financially. Do you know what I mean? I think he is slipping. I don't think he's got a lot left. I wouldn't say a lot left. I just think he's slipping. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's someone that's going to hang around way past his best. I think he's got a few more big fights in him, and then that might be, I'd say he'd probably retire. But Canelo's still probably maybe got a bit left. Billy Joe never looked in better form. Jacobs, I still think he could be there. But I think the guys like Charlo's, these are the guys that are going to be kind of maybe stepping forward over the next year or two.
Okay, Matt. Thanks for your breakdown for the main event on Saturday. Very good analysis. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you on Fight Night. For now, thanks for talking to IFL.